Okay, welcome to the class. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Sir.
Okay, so now today we'll be doing Indus Valley Civilization important sites. And there have been a tendency of UPSC in asking questions based on what the features of various sites of IVC. And normally what we can expect is one or two questions in all the years, yes, of the UPSC examination. There have been questions in the past also, and there will be also in the future also important sites. Now, many times very difficult to filter what all the features linked with important sites. But what I have tried to do is I have used a book called Upinder Singh. Yes, Upinder Singh is a very famous lady historian. Yes, she has a very bulky book. Yes, in that I filtered out what various important features from Indus Valley Civilization, which I try to put them in this handout which I shared today. And most probably any question now coming from UPSC from the sites can be answered by you. Now here, so on this note, let us start the class. Let's start the class. Okay, so let us start with the time period of Indus Valley Civilization. The time period is ranging around 2000 years again. So 3300 BCE to 1400 BCE. It's almost around 2000 years. That means it's a very long history, very long time period. Now, so IVC was established around 3300 BC. And it's what mature period. So mature period was around 700 years. So 700 years were the mature years. That means very long time span. That means it flourished for a very long duration of time, 700 years, 7 centuries. That is the mature Indus Valley civilization phase. Then after 1900 BC, it started to decline. And also decline happened over a very long period of time. A very long period of time. That means it was disappearing by the time 1400 BCE. Which coincided also with what the coming of the Aryans also, the early Vedic period also. Now which coincided. That means this was a time period where the when the IVC civilization was there in the early part also, mature part also, and declining phase also. That is 2000 years. Now this civilization was first discovered during excavation by Sir J.S. Marshall in 2021-22, sorry, 1921-22 at Harappa, the first site, and hence the name Harappan civilization. And on the by following the discovery of certain seals, which was done by J. Fleet. So initially they were discovering certain seals from this location called Harappa that led to larger excavation under the guidance of Sir John Marshall, which led to excavation of a civilization which was once a very prosperous civilization. So Harappan ruins were discovered by Mr. Marshall, Rai Bahadur Dayaram Sahani, and MS Watts. Yes, MS Watts, means 2 Indians, and the mission was headed by Mr. Marshall. Then Mohenjo-daro ruins were excavated for the first time by R.D. Banerjee, Mr. Mackay, and Mr. Marshall. So that's why when we talk about 2 most important sites of IVC are the Harappa and the Mohenjo-daro. Now, but this civilization has got a huge geographical spread. So that means if we talk about the area, it is around 1.2 million square kilometers. 1.2 million square kilometers is a geographical spread of this civilization. And that includes areas like Punjab. So Punjab, including Punjab of India and Punjab of Pakistan, Sindh, which is there in Pakistan, Balochistan, which is again a province in Pakistan, a restive province in Pakistan, Baloch uprising is there. Now Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Western Uttar Pradesh. So Punjab, Sindh, Balochistan, that means it was mostly confined towards the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent and gradually expanded towards east till Uttar Pradesh. In the north, a certain site around Jammu in Kashmir, and coming down lower to a certain border of Maharashtra. So it's extended from Sukta Gendor in Balochistan. That means when we talk about northeast, southwest, north, west, south, and east. So Sukta Gendor is when you talk about Pakistan. Okay, so here Balochistan, the extreme most. So this is Sukta Gendor. So this is the westernmost. Now Alamgirpur in western UP, that means here, around bordering Haryana. So this is Alamgirpur. That is in the northeast direction. And when you talk about the Daimabad, so Daimabad is southern part. So southern part here when we talk about the southern part here coming the southwestern part, which is the border of Maharashtra. Here you'll be finding Daimabad. And in the north, we are talking about Mandu. So if this is the north, Jammu and Kashmir, so that means Jammu part will be tilting towards northwest part. So here it will be Mandu. So when we talk about the extension of what IVC, it was from Mandu in the north to Sukda Gendor in the west, to Daimabad in the south, which is bordering Maharashtra, and Alamgirpur in Uttar Pradesh, yes, in UP. That means when we talk about this entire area, so this is what 1.2 million square kilometer. 1.2 million square kilometer. So similarly, so instead of drawing the entire map of India, you can also draw these locations, north, west, east, south, and then put and demarcate the sites and show the range and extent of about any dynasty also, any civilization also you can show. If you are not good in drawing what maps of India. Now, so here, this is the range. So Sukta Gendor is here. Now, Delhi, then we talk about Alamgirpur in the western UP part. This is Sukta Gendor. Let's put here. And when we talk about Maharashtra, it is here. And when we talk about Mandu, okay, going back to Kashmir part here. So that means when we connect these locations, that means this was the range. So this was the range. So 1.2 million square kilometer. That means now we can imagine 1.2 million square kilometers is a very, very huge area. Now when we talk about India's today area is 3 million square kilometer, 3.2 million square kilometer. That means it was very, very huge. Yes, very less number of countries are there having such type of area in the world. So 1.2 million square kilometer. Now in this comes what various important sites. Let us now explore the sites in detail one by one with their proper important features. So first of all, what were the common features in Indus Valley civilization? The common features, first of all, most of the cities had shown similar patterns. This is a common feature. So these are the certain common features. Most cities have shown similar patterns. That means those cities were divided into two parts. The citadel was the upper part, and then the lower town. So this was the upper part, and this is the lower town. That means two parts. The cities had got two-tier structure. Two-tier structure. So we are talking about certain common features which were mostly found across the sites, and there will be certain unique features which were particular for that particular site. So most cities have similar patterns, mostly two parts or two-tier system, a citadel on the upper part of the city, which was administrative in nature, and then the common living areas which were lower town. Most cities have shown a great bath, which were for ritual purpose also, or a public gathering also. Now, no worship-like places were visible, no structures like temples. In when we talk about palaces, have not been found. Now, what were other things which were found? Granaries were common. Houses, many of them were two-storied made of burnt bricks, also mud bricks, So burnt and mud, closed drainage systems. Weights and measurement means it was a trading society. Weights and measurement means a trading society. Toys, so toy production was there. Pots, pottery was well developed. So it was a proper what functioning civilization which had got its society, which has got its administration, which has got it what economy. So these are the common things. Now further, the drainage and sanitation system, which was very, very fine. Yes, very good. Highlight the Harappans, first of all, engineering what IQ, and also the focus on the public health. That means if the covered drain system was there, proper maintained what sanitation system was there, clearly showing the what the importance of maintaining good public health and hygiene. Now, when we talk all of these in today's perspective, so these cities can be termed as the first smart cities of the world. Now, IVC cities can be termed as the smart cities of the world. Smart cities. So these are certain common features. So common features, similar pattern cities, two-tier structures, great bath, okay, greenery was common, two-storied houses, modern burned bricks houses, closed drainage systems. Now weights for measurement, toys and pots, and drainage system which highlights the efficiency in sanitation and also what responsibility towards public health. Now, so cities, towns, and sites in IVC. Now we are talking about the important ones. Now, first of all, let's cover the important ones. Then tomorrow we will be covering certain what other smaller sites, and then we will starting formally the society part of IVC, then the economy part of what IVC. So let us see first major site, Harappa. So when we talk about Harappa, so where Harappa is, it's a Punjab part of Pakistan. On which river? Again, you should be knowing the location. So which river? River Ravi. And it is west to the town of Sahiwal in Pakistan. So the nearest town is Sahiwal. So today's town which is closer to this place is Sahiwal in Pakistan. So that means the first thing that we are knowing is the location, the river, and the nearest township. Now, second thing that we are knowing is the city of Harappa was continuously occupied. That means from the early phase to the mature phase to the later Harappan phase. There was a continuity in settlement. That means it was in existence for around 2000 years. So early Harappan phase to the later Harappan phase. Now in this, the citadel. Citadel Mount was in the western part of the city. Again, the western part of the city. And the lower town is in southeast. So again, you can draw here this. Okay, so western, you can put citadel. And the lower part of town is southeast. Lower town. Again, you can draw a small figure. So western part, the citadel, and the southeastern part, the lower town. Now, cemetery is a graveyard. Yes, cemetery is a graveyard. Okay, a well-preserved graveyard is also being found, and that has been termed as R37 cemetery. So, cemetery is a graveyard. So, R37 cemetery, this is south of the citadel. Is a cemetery of the mature Harappan phase. So, south of citadel here somewhere is south of citadel. Here will be cemetery. That is R37. R37 cemetery. Okay, so that means various factual information we are getting here. First, the river Ravi is what Punjab in Pakistan, Sahiwal. It has been what continuously occupied from the early Harappan to the later Harappan. Citadel on the western side, lower town on the southeast side, and the R37 cemetery, which is on the south of what citadel. Mature Harappan phase. Now, the Harappa is also known for its bead making industry. And we are going to talk about various what soft stones. okay, which were also what of different colors, which were used in terms of what the trade, the semi-precious stones. So these are being named differently. There was a carnelian stone, steatite stone, lapis lazuli, and faience. We'll be showing, I will be showing all those stones one by one. But first of all, carnelian is red in color. Lapis lazuli is blue in color. Now, when we talk about this is steatite of different colors. Yes. This is also known as soapstone. It is also known as soapstone, which is very soft in nature, which can be carved easily. Soapstone. So carnelian is red, lapis lazuli is blue. Now, steatite can be of different colors, but it is soft in nature. It is also termed as soapstone, which can easily be what broken and crafted. And faience is also of what different colors. Also of different colors. So Harappa is known for its bead making industry, and majorly four types of stones. Yes, four types of stones: carnelian, steatite, lapis lazuli, and faience. Now, so these beads, okay, so it's a bead manufacturing sector or center, and there were various other sites also where the beads were manufactured. Now, from here, manufactured beads were now exported to far off regions. Means going to Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia is today's Iraq. Today's Iraq is Mesopotamia. And we know the Persian Gulf. Okay, going towards Iran. So indicating extensive trade networks. So artisans at Harappa were skilled in what? Using bronze also, copper also, gold also, and silver also. But it was majorly a bronze and copper civilization. Bronze and copper civilization. Now, what are the other features found here? Naturally, it was a big city. It was required to be protected. It was required to protect it. So what should be there? A fortified wall was there. Larger settlement which requires protection has a fortified wall. Now it also shows a very interesting features: copper chariot with a canopy. Canopy is like an umbrella, okay, over a chariot, maybe for shading from the sun. That is an umbrella. So copper chariot with canopy may be used by, okay, is symbolic of being used by the administrator. That means the person who is topmost in the hierarchy. So copper chariot with canopy. Now, at this was the place for manufacturing. So hence, there were workshops and also the quarters for the living of the workers. So workmen quarters were also there. That means houses. So there were separate workmen houses. So that is almost like an industrial township. Yes. So this ultimately looks like a industrial township. Industrial township. Now further, there's also common specimen of the bullock cart, which may have been used by the traders for carrying the goods. May have been used by traders. Okay, so copper specimen of bullock carts. So bullock carts for what? Again, for carrying the goods by the traders. Now weights and measures. So cubical limestone weight, that is weights and measure. Weights. So now that means when we logically connect, various things you can connect. A large township definitely should be having a fortified wall. Okay, large township should be having an administrator. So that means copper chariot with canopy. Administrator is a symbol of the topmost administrator. Now it was an industrial township, so hence workshops and workmen quarters. Now It was a trader's place, so that means copper specimen, a bullock cart. The traders will be using weights and measures, so hence cubical limestone of weight. Red sandstone statues of human anatomy. Now there are also coffin burials, which are also only found in Harappa, coffin burials. Now, then there are 6 granaries, 2 rows of 6 granaries, means 12 in all 12 granaries. Okay, then worship of Lingam and Yoni, which was adopted later by even the Aryans. Mother goddess and dog chasing a deer in bronze metal, that means bronze metal, and also dice. Dice may have been used for playing what, a chopper or chaturanga, which was a time pass for various traders. Okay, so dice. A copper scale for measurement, and mirror. That means we are finding what various important things. So there are certain things which are linked with the fortification. There are certain things which are linked with what the topmost administrator. There are multiple things which are linked with what the traders. There are certain things which are linked with what worship. Okay. So copper specimen for bullock cart for traders, weights for the traders again, human anatomy, coffin burial. This is a unique thing of Harappa. Granaries. So granary means it's a surplus producing economy. Granaries. Now, stone symbols of Lingam and Yoni, mother goddess sculptures. So these are for worship. Now, dice again, maybe what for the traders who are resting there, who are collecting the goods, selling the good there. So in the rest houses, they may be playing, so maybe using dices. Copper scale for measurement and mirror. So all these are the findings from a place called Harappa. So logically connect, there's no need of what doing rote learning of all of these. So you can also break this, okay? The things which are linked with administrators, the things which are linked with traders, the things which are linked with worship, you can further break them. Administrator, traders, and worship. So all these can be filtered here. Yes, all these can be filtered here one by one. So for administrators, traders, and worshippers. Now, then we talk about Mohenjo-daro. Now, which river here? So river Indus. Now, which bank? Left bank or right bank? It's right bank. Now, which district? Larkana district of Sindh, Pakistan. Larkana district. So, when I talk about Harappa, is river Ravi. Mohenjo-daro is river Indus. Right bank, Larkana district, Sindh. Commonly known as Mound of Dead in Sindhi. So, Mohenjo-daro in Sindhi means Mound of Dead. And it flourished during mature Harappan phase and was one of the largest and most developed cities of the Indus Valley civilization. It was the most developed city. Now here what we are finding, the houses in the lower town were primarily built using baked bricks. Now see, burnt bricks were majorly used for what? 2-story houses. Normal houses were mostly baked bricks. Burnt bricks were used for 2-story houses. Burnt bricks were usually used for drainage systems, for constructing the great bath. Okay. So for them, the burnt bricks were used. So the houses in the lower town were primarily built using baked bricks with thick walls and often with 2 stories, may have also been surrounded by fortification wall. So baked means burnt. Baking was done. The houses varied in size but shared common features. That means what are common features? So there was the rooms around the courtyard. So courtyard in between. So courtyard in between. So this is the courtyard and maybe the rooms will be here surrounding it. Then wells. So there were also private wells within the house also. So wells were within the households. These were the private wells. Bathrooms and drainage facilities. Bathroom and drainage facilities. And the city streets were laid out in grid pattern. Grid means, okay, so grid is this, okay, crossing each other at right angles. Okay. So grid patterns. So this becomes a grid pattern. Okay. So crossing each other at right angles. With main streets running north to south and east to west. Okay. So north to south, these were the main streets, and running from west to east. So north to south and west to east. So this is called a grid pattern. Now, evidence of workshops producing beads, pottery, metal tools, and ornaments have been found. So artisans were skilled again in what? Using precious, semi-precious stones like carnelian, fans, shell also. Shell that we Hindi call it CP. Ivory also, use of ivory, gold and bronze. So ivory, that means jungles. Jungles can be forested, maybe having elephants population. So ivory. So hence Mohenjo-daro was a part of an extensive trade network that included other Harappan cities. So there were what internal trade also and external trade also. So Mesopotamia, Persian Gulf, and even Central Asia crossing there. So which were the goods which were imported? So lapis lazuli was imported from Afghanistan, turquoise, all were imported. Okay. Shells would have been imported from what? The other Persian Gulf areas. Metals were imported, while the products like cotton textile was exported. Carnel beads were exported. Pottery were exported. So export and import. So lapis lazuli imported, a precious stone. Okay, turquoise again a precious semi-precious stone imported. Shells, metals, and what was exported? Carnelian beads, cotton textile, cotton, and pottery. Now, as I told you, this is lapis lazuli, blue in color. This is turquoise. This is green in color. And this red one is carnelian. This red one is carnelian. So carnelians these were found, yes, these were exported. These were exported. Carnelian were exported. And when you talk about lapis lazuli and turquoise, these two were imported. These two were imported. The blue one and the green one was imported. Red was found here. Now, further, citadel served as the administrative and ritual center of the city. It housed several important structures, including great bath, granary, pillared halls, and assembly halls. Assembly halls means where common people can come. Okay. So assembly halls are again for the pillared halls, granary, great bath. Now, great bath, large, rectangular, made of fired bricks. The floor of the bath was watertight. That means waterproofing was done. So waterproofing was done by using bitumen. By using bitumen, waterproofing. So they were knowing the art of what? Waterproofing. So that is a lesser seepage from the tank underground. So waterproofing was done. So it was a cotton producing area. So cotton export was there. So what is being found? A small fragment of cotton has been found from Mohenjo-daro. A famous sculpture called Bronze Dancing Girl will sing later in more art and culture part of IVC. with proper figure. Then there are unicorn seals. So unicorn is about one horn on the nose. Unicorn seals. Most numbers of it is found in Mohenjo-daro. So most number of unicorn seals are found in Mohenjo-daro. So fragment of cotton, bronze dancing girl, unicorn seals, largest in number here. And there's a Pashupati seal. So Pashupati seal, this Pashupati seal is surrounded by 5 animals. And these 5 animals are deer, elephant, tiger, buffalo, and rhino. That means these are commonly visible or found animals around this location. Around this location. So deer, elephant, tiger, buffalo, rhino. So that means ivory. Elephant is there, so ivory. Then there's a statue of a bearded man. Bronze buffalo. And the unique thing here is, even there's a what signs of what post-cremation burial. Post-cremation burial. So post-cremation means once the person have been what burnt, yes, in fire, yes. Then the remaining parts of the body, maybe in the urn or a jar, they were now put in the grave, yes. So post-cremation burial. So this is also a unique feature. Post-cremation burial. So when we talk about burials, so there are various locations which have got different burial practices. So here when we talk about post-cremation burial is found in Mohenjo-daro. Post-cremation burial. Very clear till now? Now, so and the location which is there in Sindh along with Mohenjo-daro is Chanu-Daro. And Chanu-Daro was the largest industrial complex. So this was Chanu-Daro was the largest industrial complex. In Indus Valley civilization, largest industrial complex. Now again, where? In the Sindh part of Pakistan. Now this is on River Indus left bank. Now this is to be noted. Mohenjo-daro is in the right bank. And this is on the left bank. Sangar district, yes, in Sindh. So when we talk about the, it's not a very big settlement, but it was a major manufacturing hub. It was a major manufacturing hub of that time period. So it is relatively small compared to other Harappan sites. So the statement comes, it was one of the largest, that means the statement would be wrong. So it was relatively small compared to other Harappan sites. Now, Chanu-Daro's significance lies in its specialized industrial production. The site shows evidence of habitation during early Harappan phase, but reached its peak during the mature Harappan phase. So during mature Harappan phase, it became the bustling industrial hub. It became a major industrial hub. Now, so Chanu-Daro became a bustling industrial hub, which includes bead making, shell working, and metal crafting. That is bead making, so beads, then shell, okay, and also metal. So metal mostly copper and bronze, shell, and also bead making. Now it can also be termed as the Lancashire of India. Lancashire is a major industrial township in UK. It's also termed as the Lancashire of India. Here, point to be noted here is the city was not fortified. Underline this, city was not fortified, which is unusual because most of the Harappan cities were fortified. So this is unusual compared to other Harappan sites, indicating that its primary focus was manufacturing rather than defense. So primary focus was manufacturing rather than defense. Now, this lack of defense, we can also guess that it can be a peaceful mostly trade-oriented community focused on craft production. Focused on craft production. So we are talking about just a minute. Okay. So houses were constructed, the lack of defense suggests a peaceful trade-oriented community, majorly focused on a craft production. So this becomes a unique feature again, because here you will not be finding any fortification, which was common across, yes, various sites of industrial civilization. The houses were constructed using mud bricks and occasionally burnt bricks. Occasionally burnt bricks. So again, being an industrial townships, so the settlements were divided into residential quarters and industrial areas. So industrial areas were different, with workshops which are spread throughout the city. So the settlement divided into residential quarters and the industrial areas. So industrial areas were somewhere else, and residential areas were on the other side with workshops. So even houses often contained workspaces. So that means there were working places within the houses also. So we know that in most of the smaller units, even in our country today also, which we call the micro units in a country, micro enterprises, many of them function from their home itself. So similarly, houses often contained workspaces. So suggesting that craft production occurred within domestic contexts. So there were industrial spaces also, but there are also what workshops, workspaces within the houses also. Now, industrial and craft production. So Chanudaro was the major center for bead production. First of all, bead was being produced, especially the manufacturing of the carnelian beads. That's why these were exported, carnelian. So there have been evidences of what bead furnaces, unfinished beads also found, and the tools which were used for drilling and polishing them have been excavated from this place. Also known for shell working. So producing variety of shell bangles, shell ornaments, inlays. So inlays means basically incising them or putting them maybe in what designing, construction, also maybe in fabric. Copper and bronze were used to make tools, weapons and ornamental equipment. So copper and bronze. Tools such as chisels, blades and arrowheads have been found, highlighting the advanced metallurgical skills at Chanudaro. So it was a production center of the beads, production center of the shells, production centers of what various metal-based were tools, weapons and ornamental items. Even toys making. So terracotta figures, toys and animal models were also manufactured. So now it's not very confusing. Beads were basically semi-precious stones which were attractive in nature, which were either exported or imported. The major export item was carnelian. When I talk about lapis lazuli and turquoise, those were imported. Now shell. So shell bangles, shell ornaments and inlays. Copper and bronze, the two major metals. So tools as well as weapons and also ornaments. Terracotta figures, toys for playing for the children, and the animal models. So Chanudaro is also famous for miniature toy carts. Again, important. So miniature toy carts made of terracotta and often in what? Wheels, movable wheels. Now the seals made from steatite. So these seals were used for administrative purpose, official seals, often featuring the distinctive Indus script on them. Animal motifs were also produced at the site. So it means official seals also. So these were official seals with what their script and what important animal motifs. So hence it was used for trading also, administrative purposes also. Hence Chanudaro was an important trading post or trading center. Chanudaro. Important trading centers. So we have talked about Harappa. We have talked about Mohenjo-daro, Chanudaro. Mohenjo-daro and Chanudaro are both in Sindh. Chanudaro is a major industrial area. It have got every possible manufacturing of that time period, which include beads, which include shells, which include what using metals for production. Okay, even what terracotta figurines, even what the toys, the cards, okay, even seals were produced. So it was producing everything that was manufactured in that time period. So it was basically the industrial heart of the Indus Valley civilization. But remember, it was not a very big site. Now next comes Kalibangan. So Kalibangan in Rajasthan. Now which river? River Ghagar and the Hanumangarh district. So this Hanumangarh district here, Kalibangan. So Hanumangarh district is bordering Haryana. So this is Hanumangarh district of Rajasthan borders Haryana. Is borders Haryana. Now Kalibangan, this is Rajasthan, river Ghagar and Hanumangarh district. The name Kalibangan means black bangles, derived from the numerous species of black terracotta bangles found at this site. Now let's see the site. Yes, site of this river Ghagar. So the site positioned along the banks of the now dry Ghagar Hakra river. So Ghagar Hakra is a combined rivers. Now this is usually identified with what now extinct Saraswati river and holds greater historical importance, and it provides evidences of both pre-Harappan and mature Harappan phases. Kalibangan, pre and mature Harappan phases. So means where in the northern part of Rajasthan, bordering the state of Haryana, Hanumangarh district, river Ghagar Hakra river, which can also be equated with the mythical Saraswati, which is no more. Okay, so holds great historical importance and provides evidence of pre-Harappan and mature Harappan phases. Now it is considered as one of the earliest proto-urban sites. That means when the Indus Valley civilization was starting, it was the first place where the first urbanization was starting. So it was considered one of the earliest proto-urban sites in the Indus Valley civilization and provides critical insights into early Harappan urbanism. So which of the following cities and sites have shown, the importance with respect to what early phases of Harappan civilization? Here you can, if the options are there, if this places has been given, then definitely Kalibangan. So early Harappan urbanism and socio-economic life can be studied from the early part or the pre-Harappan part, starting part. Now here, the evidence of what plugged agriculture field, that means using of plugs or plow. That is Hindi, we call them hal. So hal were used, so plow fields, making it one of the earliest examples of agriculture in Indus Valley civilization. Plowing was there, yes. Hence, as we know the plowings were used, so there will be furrows. These are the furrows which are there, which are being created by. The furrows can also be crisscrossed. And then the seeds are being put in the furrows for growing the crops. So the field was marked with furrows running north to south and east to west, again in a grid-like pattern. And there also indication of what crop rotation also and irrigation practices. The crops majorly grown were the barley and wheat and possibly pulses. The discovery highlights the advanced nature of agricultural techniques practiced at Kalibanga. That means use of what proper plowing, creating furrows, okay, then proper agriculture seeding, and finally growing the crops and using of irrigation, crop rotation, crop rotation. So Kalibangan also evolved into fortified city, showcasing a citadel and a lower town pattern. Again, the two-tier structure. Two-tier structure. Similar to other Harappan cities like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. So it has got a water management system which included wells and drains in the lower town. Unlike other IVC sites, however, the drains in Kalibangan were more rudimentary, was very basic, not very advanced, indicating that the city was not as advanced in terms of drainage system as Harappa and Mohenjo-daro in terms of water management. Though there were wells, though there were drains, but they were not very well developed when you compare with the bigger developed sites of those time period, that is Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. So it was more rudimentary in nature. So again, these type of words become important in terms of identification. Now, another important feature of this place of Kalibangan is first is the identification of first time well developed agriculture. Okay. Second feature is fire altars. Second major feature is fire altars. So several fire altars were discovered in the citadel area, consisting of rectangular and square mud brick platforms that we still use in various houses, okay, for conducting havan. So several fire altars were discovered in citadel area. And the presence of ash and charred bones in these altars suggests ritualistic sacrifices, possibly linked to early forms of fire worship. So many of the features were later adopted by the coming of the Aryans. So these altars are unique to Kalibangan. Again, underline that. And provide evidence of ritualistic practices distinct from other IVC sites. Their fire altars are also visible in some other sites also, but they're less in number. Here, they are large in numbers. So several, here, they are more, several fire altars were discovered in the citadel area consisting of rectangular and square mud bricks. So presence of charred bones and what ash, symbolizing early form of fire worship. Pottery, painted. So distinctive painted pottery. Mostly BRW, black and red ware. So in short, these are being termed as BRW, black on red ware. That means red colored with what? Black designing on the top. Black on red ware. So often decorated geometric designs and animal motifs. And animal motifs. So fire altars. Now some pottery also featured symbols of Indus script. Yes, again this to be noted. That if it says that the pottery design had only had geometric designs and were animal motifs, okay, that means you can make this statement wrong, because some pottery also featured symbols of Indus script, so reflecting a culture artistic link with other Harappan sites. Now in the Kalibangan, so that means bangles which are black in color, made of terracotta. So hence the Kalibangan means there would have been a bangle factory. And the feature is finding of what? Ivory comb, copper buffalo or bull, horn figure, toy cards. Now here, interesting, bones of camels. This to be noted. bones of camels. And also one interesting thing here is also found some decorated bricks. It means bricks with designs, decorated bricks. So these two important things, bones of camels and decorated bricks, are again what unique feature here. And you can also add here ivory comb. So now, first of all, when we talk about Kalibangan now, Kalibangan is north of Rajasthan, touching what the state of Haryana. It is Kalibangan by because of black bangles, okay, made of terracotta. Now here the unique feature is the agriculture part is a unique feature. Okay. Then what is actually not what well developed was the drainage system. Okay, it was not as good as the other major sites. Fire altars, this is again a unique feature found in large numbers. Several fire altars were found. Then and the unique feature is pottery also having what Indus script on that. Bones of camels, decorative bricks, ivory comb. Now, and the close side to this is Balathan. Just for remembrance, not very what a prominent site, not any specific major feature that has been mentioned, but just the name. And the close side is Balathan to Kalibangan, is closer side. Now, from Rajasthan, we are now entering what? Haryana. Now, Haryana, they are what? Though it's a small state now, it's small state now, but it's got very prominent, important sites in Haryana. So one is Banawali. So Haryana, where river Saraswati left bank, even a tributary of Saraswati, river Rangoi. This was also mentioned. Yes, river Rangoi. Again, if the name river Rangoi comes, so that means you should be knowing, that means Banawali. District is Fatehabad in Haryana. So the settlement at Banawali exhibits cultural continuity and transformation from early Harappan to the mature Harappan phases. So culture continuity from early to the mature one. So river Saraswati left bank and the river is tributaries river Rangoi, Fatehabad district, Haryana, Banawali. So the site is distinctive for its oval-shaped fortified layout. Now this is a unique feature. Underline that, this is important. So fortified layout is oval in nature. So this sets us apart from a typical grid pattern of other cities. So that is why, as the fortified layout is oval in nature, this entire city has got a what oval patterns, radial patterns of roads rather than the grid patterns of roads. So this again becomes a unique feature. The only city with radial streets, that is oval shaped streets, not rectangular streets. Now here the mud brick houses were also showing raised platforms. In Hindi we call them chabutra. Raised platform. If this is the house, okay, this is extended thing which is raised in nature. Okay, then comes the street. So raised platform. So mud brick houses had raised platforms. So baked bricks were used only for wells. Now here the baked bricks only used for wells, bathing pavements and drains. So baked here means fire burnt. Mud bricks were the sun dried bricks. So mud bricks are the sun dried. Baked are the fire burnt. Were used only for wells, bathing pavements and drainage. So in the early Harappan phase, Banawali was already an agriculturally prosperous area. So Haryana is still an agricultural area. So already agriculture prosperous area with evidence of wheat and barley cultivation. Now again, the largest number of, again this to be noted, the largest number of barley grains are found in Banawali. The largest number of barley grains are found in Banawali. Now later it became an important trade and craft center Showcasing sophisticated urban planning, drainage system, and structured residential area. This happened in the mature phase. Again, settlement was fortified. Only in one place we have not found a fortified settlement, that is Chanudaro. Suggesting concerns for defense and flood protection. Again, here to be noted, the drainage system was less sophisticated when compared to Mohenjo-daro or Harappa. So let's see again Banawali. Banawali, River Saraswati, left bank, River Rangoi, the tributary. Fatehabad district, cultural continuity from early to the mature phase. Now here, now this is the only city which has got a radial pattern, the rounded pattern or the oval shaped pattern. Now mud brick houses have raised platforms. Burnt bricks were only used for the wells, the bathing pavements and drains. Early Harappan phase, it was already having a agriculture, prosperous agriculture. Now it became a trade center, manufacturing center, craft production center when it reached the mature Harappan phase. Now fortification and a drainage system was less sophisticated. Banawali in Haryana. Now, unique pottery styles. Now, this is again to be remembered. Is known for distinctive painted pottery having S-shaped jars. And what is S-shaped? This is S. S-shaped. Okay. That is S-shaped. So, S-shaped jars. So, these are the S-shaped jars. And bowls typical of mature Harappan phase. So the pottery features geometric patterns. There will be geometric patterns in most of the pottery. Animal motifs, there will be. And sometimes also INDUS script symbols. So reflecting its integration with the broader Harappan culture. Now, to be noted here is the site also yielded pre-Harappan pottery also, which was more plain and utilitarian with very less design, with no design. So unique pottery style is S-shaped jars and unique type of bowls and the same type of pattern, that is the geometric pattern, animal motifs, and maybe using of what INDUS script also in terms of designing the pottery. Now here, fire altars and ritual practices similar to Kalibangan. Banwali contains evidence of fire altars. But what is the difference here? The Kalibangan has got several. Here the fire altars were there, but we are taking them as an evidence. Okay, that fire altars, certain fire altars. So there is evidence of what? Again, rituals. Suggesting ritualistic practices involving sacrificial fire worship. Again, the same, were rectangular in shape and were using mud bricks for construction. Now, if the mud bricks would have been used for regular havans or what fire worship, naturally these mud bricks would have become the burnt bricks. Okay. Okay. Now, again, the presence of charred remains and ash pits. Okay, so as to what ritual sacrifices. Agriculture implements. Agriculture implements like plows are found. Plows, that is hull. Sickle blades. Sickle blades are for cutting the crop. Yes. So sickle. This is a sickle. This is a sickle with a handle. With a handle. This is a handle. This is a sickle. That means used for cutting the mature crop. So artifacts like plows and sickle blades have been recovered, indicating the use of advanced agricultural tools and techniques. So this supported the idea that Banwali was a center of agricultural production with crops like barley, wheat, gram being cultivated. Because we are talking about the fertile plains of Haryana, which also became the important area for green revolution in the country after independence. Okay, so Banwali was a center of agriculture production. So beet production was almost there in all the sites, prominent industry. At Banwali, with beets made of carnelian, we know what carnelian is red. Terracotta is your clay. Shell can be of white color. Now, when I talk about agate, is this again a stone? These are agates, yes, of multicolor. Agates are what? Multicolor. So agates are of multicolor. Hence, the site yielded numerous terracotta figurines. Of humans, animals, and mythical creatures, highlighting the artistic and cultural life of the settlement. So miniature carts are again found.
Hello.
Hello, Ravina, yes?
Yeah, sir. What is terracotta?
Terracotta is clay.
Okay.
Okay, उसको पका के उसको हार्ड करते हैं, है ना?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So terracotta is clay, yes, which is burnt for making it harder in nature. Now, so miniature carts, toy animals, and wheeled toys were found, reflecting creative expression and possibly the playful nature of the Harappan children. Now, trade networks. So Banwali's strategic location on Saraswati Ghagar river system made it an important node in the Harappan trade network. Maybe at that time period, it was a very prominent flowing river. There would have been a riverine transport. So that means riverine transport. Riverine transport. So what we have found in Banwali, what we have found? Important things, Banwali. First of all, here, it was already in an agriculturally prosperous area. Unique thing is oval petals, okay, the radial petals. Now, next is S-shaped jars and bowls, which is a unique thing here. Now, fire altars were also there, like Kalibangan, but they were very less in number. Agricultural implements were advanced, that is, plows were used and sickle blades were used. And the bead making industry, where and the stone comes into picture is agate, comes into picture, which is a multicolored. And it was a major center of riverine transport through Saraswati Ghagar river system. Now, so it likely traded what? Agriculture produce were traded, craft goods were traded, and metal objects were traded, where other Harappan cities such as Kalibangan, Harappa, and Mohenjo-daro. That means mostly internal trade. Now, another place here is in Haryana is Rakhi Gadi. Again, a prominent place, Rakhi Gadi. Again, it's nearby the same river Saraswati, but the district is different, Hisar district. Banawali is in where? In Hanumangarh district. This is Hisar district. So this is considered the largest site of IVC. First of all, this is important to be remembered. This is considered the largest site of IVC. This is again a thing to be remembered here. Important. So it is even bigger than the Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. So spanning an area of more than 350 hectares, okay, Rakhi Gadi is larger than even Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. As that means it was a location which was very extensive. So it consisted of what? 7 mounds. 7 what? Mounded locations spread across. And they have been named RGR1 and RGR7. 1 to 7. 7 mounds. RG means Rakhi Gadi. And has revealed artifacted structures dating back to early Harappan, to the mature Harappan, and even to the late Harappan. That means early to mature to late, all three. Early to mature to all three. And here out of these 7 mounds, the largest mound was RG1, that would have served as a citadel. So RG1, that is the largest mound, served as a citadel. Now, Rakhigarhi's early Harappan phase is marked by agricultural settlement. Initially started as an agricultural settlement with circular houses and simple pottery. So, early Harappan phase, agriculture, circular houses, and simple pottery. Now, during mature Harappan phase, so maturity means urbanization. Maturity means urbanization. The site expanded significantly, featuring a well-planned layout, fortification, drainage systems, and multi-roomed houses. Now, that is later Harappan phase means again declining of urbanization. Again, the rural settings will be prominent. And when we talk about, this was the phase of India's first urbanization. Indus Valley civilization was the phase of India's first urbanization. Second urbanization came later after the coming of the empires, okay, after Mahajanpadas, or what we are going to talk about the Mauryan empires. Then the second urbanization started. So this was the first urbanization. So when the Indus Valley civilization declined, it again led to more rural settings rather than urban places. So that's why the late Harappan phase at Rakhigarhi is characterized by decline in urban features. Again, simplification of pottery styles. Settlement also shrunk in size, became smaller, and so as to shift towards more pastoralism and rural occupation then. Now, why? Because as the civilization was declining, its trade was also getting hampered. Now, when the trade was not there, that means non-agricultural occupations cannot be sustained. When non-agricultural occupations cannot be sustained, it will lead to decline in urbanization. And decline in urbanization will again lead to what? Rural settings, dependent upon agriculture. It was a period of de-urbanization again. Now, burial practices, again, very unique here. So, a significant find of Rakhigarhi are the discovery of various cemeteries. Okay, that means various graveyards, featuring different types of burials. Now, such as extended burials. So, what are these extended burials? When the body is lying in the grave with hands, with hands what? Extended in what? Sidewise direction, but extended, of course. If they're bulging out, yes, hands are bulging out. This is called extended burials. So, hands bulging out. Hands bulging out are the extended burials. Now, they're un burials. So, uns are small pot. Okay, so that means the un burials means what? Post cremation burials. So these are post cremation burials. That means we in Hindi we call them asthiya. So these asthiya were now put in the graves. So these are un burials. And secondary burials. Now what
But
are
sir,
pardon?
अर्न बरियल इज जो बोरी में रिमेन्स को बॉडी को डालकर करते थे वो नहीं होता
मटके में डाल दो, है ना, जलाने के बाद जो राख बची उसको मटके में डाल दो और उसको दबा दो.
नॉट द डेड बॉडी, ओनली द
Not the dead
रिमेन्स.
body. So own burial, है ना, own burial means after cremation, जलाने के बाद.
ओके,
Okay.
थैंक यू सर.
Now comes the secondary burial. Now comes the secondary burial. Secondary burial are those when the initial burial has taken place after the death immediately, but maybe later the grave goods were added. That means the possession of the person was added, a larger grave was required. Hence, shifting the dead body from earlier grave to the second grave. That's called secondary burial. So, secondary burial with what? Grave goods. Secondary burial with grave goods. So, three different types of burials: extended burials with the hand sidewise to the lying body, but ultimately what bulging out. Urn burials are the post-cremation burials. Secondary burials, which can be the second time burial of the same body. Now, the graves often contain grave goods, including pottery, jewelry, and shell bangles, suggesting a belief in afterlife. That means the possessions which were there of the person who died may be used when the person is born again, and may be requiring some equipment, so just put them in the grave with the person. The cemetery, there's an interesting graveyard. There's a graveyard which revealed 8 burials, mostly brick lined. So now the brick lined pits. The pits means gadde, so which were now surrounding by bricks. So there were 8 burials which were visible in the particular cemetery. And this, in one case, there was a wooden coffin also, in one case. So all these are very, very interesting features which should be remembered. And see, do not do rote learning, try to remember them one by one. Okay, try to remember. So once you do reading 3-4 times very sincerely, you will be able to remember all of these. So again, Rakhi Gadi was a major center of bead production. Then again, the 4 stones, carnelian again, agate, steatite, and fence beads. The pottery from Rakhi Gadi is diverse. So diverse means painted was also there, plain was also there, and polished blackware. So painted, plain, and polished black. Now there were metal workshops also. So pottery manufacturing, metal workshops. Hence, these workshops have revealed copper tools and bronze tools. So terracotta figurines, which includes human animal forms and toy carts. Now here, in this site, what we find, mud brick fortification. Fire altars were there, ivory pieces were there, and yes, bone combs and needles are the extra things that you can add as a feature of this site. Bone combs and needles. So 2 sites we have seen in Haryana now, Banwali and Rakhi Gadi. So let's say again a main feature of Rakhi Gadi. It's the largest site of Indus Valley civilization, first of all. Second, it has got 7 major mounds, RG1, so RGR1 to RGR7. RGR1 was basically the main citadel. Now it has got settlements through all the 3 phases, early, mature, and later. Now in the later part, is a decline properly visible. That means urban civilization is declining and rural settings are becoming prominent. Burial practices, again unique, 3 different types of burial practices here. Extended, urn burial, secondary burials, and even foundation of one wooden coffin. Then all the major production, bead production was there, metal workshops were there, terracotta figurines production was there, toy production was there. Mud brick fortification, fire altars, ivory pieces, and bone combs and needles. Now, other sites in Haryana, these are smaller sites, just for remembering the names in case UPSC wants to play with you. Okay, so Birana is a smaller site in Haryana. Parmana also a smaller site in Haryana. So certain multi-roomed houses are being found. Now, here the unique thing in Birana is a circular tandoor that we see in the dhabas. A circular tandoor was visible here. A circular tandoor and chura was found in Birana. And again, the incised female figurine, almost similar to Mohenjo-daro bronze girl, was found here. Incised female figure. And in Farmana, pear-shaped pottery kiln, where the pottery was burned to make it hard. Yes, Parth.
Sir, incised on what? The female figure?
Inside is basically again what design, yes, designed in a shape here.
On terracotta,
on terracotta, yes, with what incised with what proper features emerging out. The facial features emerging out. Okay. But the shape was similar to Harappan bronze girl. So now, multi-room, now here Farmana pear-shaped pottery kiln. So here the unique thing that you need to remember about Birana is a circular tandoor. Now, many times these unique things are being asked by UPSC, then we are confused, kahan se aa gaya? Okay. So, after going through all these, most of the questions ho jayenge. Now, let's move towards Gujarat. Yes, in Gujarat, there are various important sites. So, in Gujarat, let's start with Lothal. Lothal, we know the famous river is River Sabarmati. Now, it's again a tributary is River Bhogavo. So, again, to be remembered. So, this site is also linked with what? A tributary of Sabarmati that is called River Bhogavo in Ahmedabad district. In Ahmedabad district. Now, Lothal is situated in the Sabarmati river near the Gulf of Khambat. Yes, that means it's not directly touching the coast, but a river is leading its trade or its through riverine trade to the coast. So it's little inland. It's not directly on the sea coast. So Lothal is situated in Sabarmati river near the Gulf of Khambat, formerly known as the Gulf of Cambay. Now it's located here in the Bhal region. Yesterday this word came. The Bhal region are the Gujarat plains. Are the Gujarat plains. Now the site's strategic location near the coast and the river network allowed it to serve as a port city. And it served from early to late Harappan. Yes, that means all the three phases: early, mature, and late. Early, mature, and late. Yes, Komal?
Sir, what you said about inland,
Pardon, inland? Okay,
like
so
inland something.
for example, I was talking about that if Gujarat is like this, okay? So Lothal is somewhere here, little away from the direct coast. It is inland. It is not directly on the sea coast. So this is what Gulf of Cambay. So Lothal is little inside.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I hope it's clear. We're seeing the map also, it will come later. Yes, you can see the map also. So I was talking about, though it was a major port site of the Indus Valley civilization, but it was not directly at the sea coast. So site underwent extensive urbanization with well-planned residential areas, granary, warehouses, and dockyard. So here you will find the famous dockyard. It was a major place for what? What sea trade. So there was a dockyard where the ships used to come. Okay, the bigger boats used to come. So now Komal, you can see the map. Yes. So what this is Gulf of Cambay, and here is Lothal. This is little inland. I was clear. This is inland now. It's not directly touching the sea coast. Now, Lothal emerged as a major trade center, exporting items like beads, semi-precious stones, shells, ornaments to distant land. Now, the development of dockyard during this period definitely was a very high technological feat or the achievement, because it was showing engineering skills also and the knowledge of the tides and also the marine hydraulics. What means for making the place navigable. So when the ship should be entering, when the ship should be leaving, so they were knowing about basic geography and even science. And now when it was a major trading area, major dockyard, definitely dockyards have what? Storage spaces, warehouses. So now here you find what? Large warehouses and granaries. So adjacent to the dockyard is a large warehouse and granary for storing goods and grain meant for trade. Meant for trade, Lothal. Now the granary has a raised platform. So granary was on a raised platform. That means so that the flood water should not be entering the base, or the water should not be entering the base. So it was a raised platform. And also it was ventilated. That means there was a proper airflow, so that the grains are not spoiled due to humidity. So the granary had a raised platform to protect it from water, and also ventilation channels for the proper passage of the air to prevent what extensive buildup of humidity, indicating an advanced understanding of storage techniques to prevent spoilage. Now, the Lothal trade link extended to Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq, Persian Gulf, Bahrain, and Oman. Now, what was exported? So, pearls were exported, carnelian beads, red color beads were exported, cotton was produced, it was exported, elephants were there, so ivory was exported. To apply logic, elephant were there, ivory was exported, and metal objects, so copper and bronze. And what was imported? Again, tin was imported, lapis lazuli imported, that is the blue colored. Silver was also imported from Afghanistan. Now, they also had what is standardized, not random, but very standard cubical weights. So this clearly shows they have got a proper weighing system. Made of chert, again a stone. So this indicated a well-developed system of weights and measures which was crucial for trade and taxation. So yes, the center of bead production, most of the sites were the center of bead production. Variety of copper tools, ornaments, and bronze implements. Terracotta models of bullock carts, animals, toy birds. And now here the different thing is fishing. Fishing was also a significant part of the economy, as evidence from fish bones and nets found at the site. So fish bones. So fishing was a significant part of the economy, as evidenced by fish bones and nets found at the site. So fishing. Now, what other things? A smaller number of fire altars also there. Now there were shops because it was a trading center, and houses for artisans, separate houses for artisans also there. As it was near the sea coast, so shell bangles. Again, sea coast, more fish hooks. Now here animal motifs were in most of the what the pottery across the sites, but here a particular pottery with what particular representation is a clever fox. So pottery with painting of clever fox. This is also an animal motif. But here, which animal? Fox. Because fox have not been mentioned before. Fox has not been mentioned before. It's mostly elephant, the tigers, okay, buffalo. But here the fox, clever fox. So ivory weight balance, coastal area, trading area, seaport, definitely weight balance. Again, a copper dog here. Now, in this location, we found rice or rice husk. So rice husk is rice ka chilka, upar wala. And also a game that is called Chaturanga, that is the first version of chess. Again, may be used by the traders for their pastimes who were resting there. So again, we are finding various interesting things in a place called Lothal. So Lothal, first of all, it's a well-planned dockyard. The location is River Sabarmati, and the river is River Bhogavo, Ahmedabad district, the Bhal region of Gujarat, that is the Gujarat plains. Now, it is not directly at the coast, but it is little inland on the banks of Sabarmati river. Through the Sabarmati river, the riverine trade entering the sea coast. Then the dockyard showing the technological feat. Then the warehouses, large warehouses. Then we talk about the trade with was far off what Middle Eastern areas. There were various exports and imports. Imports usually coming from what? The mountainous parts of Afghanistan, like the lapis lazuli and the silver. And the standardized cubical weights were being used. Fishing is another unique thing here. Fish bones and nets are being found in large numbers here. Fire altars, shops and houses for artisans. Shell bangles, fish hooks. Now, painting with a particular motif, that is clever pox, ivory weight balance, rice husk has been found, and chaturanga, that is the initial version of the chess. Now, Dholavira is more important site in Gujarat. Yes, let's see the Dholavira. Dholavira in the Kutch area now. In Kutch areas, again, there are various sites. Now, Kutch used to be fertile, maybe in that time period, because the agriculture production was there. Agriculture produce were being found in terms of what the discovery and excavations have been found. But now the Kutch is completely salty desert. So, Dholavira, Gujarat, where in Khadar Island within the Rann of Kutch. So, the Khadar Island within the Rann of Kutch is being found there in the Kutch district of Gujarat. So Dholavira is situated in the Khadir Bed Island in the Great Rann of Kutch, surrounded by seasonal streams like Manhar and Mansar. These are two seasonal streams flowing here. So that means you must have heard an island in Brahmaputra. What is the name of the island in Brahmaputra in Assam?
Majuli.
Majuli. Yeah. So it was almost like a Majuli. Yes. That means two seasonal streams flowing, and there may be in between this Khadar Bed Island. So seasonal streams Mannar and Mansar, and this island was created by the flowing of these seasonal streams. That is called Khadar Bet Island, on which this Dholavira site was there. Let's again see the map that we have seen. This is Dholavira. This is the island. This is Dholavira in the Kutch. This is the island, Dholavira. Now, this region would have been a fertile region area during the Harappa period, supporting agriculture and settlements. Now, the site's geographical isolation and proximity to coastal area made it a key center for trade. And what was traded through there? Shell, definitely. Timber, maybe it was forested at that time. Semi-precious stones and agricultural produce. That way, it was more fertile, having more water availability in that time period. Now, during the mature, yes, Parth.
This was not a dockyard, right?
This was not a dockyard. Yes.
Only Lothal is a dockyard.
Lothal was the major dockyard. Yes, Lothal.
And only that site has been found as being a dockyard, sir, or there are other sites also beyond?
No, it's majorly only in Lothal.
Okay.
A proper dockyard was found.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
So the site's geographical isolation and proximity to coastal area made it a key center for trade. Now, during the mature Harappan period, Dholavira reached its zenith, or means its peak, as planned urban center, fortified areas, large reservoirs. Now, this is a city which has got large reservoirs of water. It has got highest form of elaborate water management system. That means when we talk about when we want to pick out a site or a city in Indus Valley civilization, which has got the highest efficiency of what? Water management system, highest efficiency in terms of what? Creating water reservoir, that is Dholavira. And monumental structures. Now, and the unique feature here is all the other sites in the Indus Valley civilization have got two-tier structure. This has got a three-tier structure, and the unique feature. So this has got a three-part city or three-tier layout. So three-part layout, that is three-tier structure. That is the citadel, the upper town. This is located in the elevated platform and served as administrative and ceremonial center. It is divided into fortified sections with bastions and gateways. So for example, if this is a fort wall, so what are bastions? Okay, the rounded places where the soldiers used to stand at the corners. Again, there can be a bastion here, and again the wall continues. So these are the rounded places. On the top where the soldiers stand, these are the bastions. Each having bastions and gateways for entry. Now then the middle town surrounded by the citadel, housed now the elite people, elite residential areas, workshops and warehouses. That means so-called upper class people of that time period living there. Then came the lower town for the common people outside the fortified walls. That means within the fortified walls were the tier 1 and the tier 2 within the fortified walls. Outside the fortified walls was the lower town, comprising of our residential quarters and industrial zones. So this is again a unique thing about Dholavira, that is 3-tier structure. So fortification gateways, Dholavira is surrounded by a series of massive stone walls. So stone walls, so stone was used mostly in construction here, limestone and also mud bricks. This served both the defensive purpose and the flood management purposes. So the city has gateways at strategic points, reflecting in a complex entry-exit system with guard posts, indicating a strong administrative control. It was a proper fortified place that we see that we saw in the medieval period also, okay, or the later medieval or the early modern period. The type of force that we have seen is almost similar. Complex entry system with guard post indicating strong administrative control. So various unique features: 3-tier structure, proper fortification, gateways. Now water management system. So one of Dholavira's most striking feature is advanced water management system, crucial for survival in the semi-arid region of Kutch. So huge reservoirs are created for storing water. That is called rainwater harvesting. Or even the seasonal flowing of streams, the water would have been diverted for collection. So hence the city has network of reservoirs, step wells that we call bawdis, step wells, drains and channels, storm water channels to collect water, collect and store rainwater. So there are 16 large reservoirs. Some are carved out of rock, capable of storing thousands of gallons of water. Now there's a great reservoir which have been used for ritualistic and public gatherings. So there were various stormwater drains which were created for what fastly moving water during the rainfall to be collected and stored in these reservoirs. These were lined with bricks and stones, carried water from the city's higher parts to these reservoirs. So very advanced water management system. And there's a question directly in UPSC 2022 from this. The question was, now it will be looking very easy. Which one of the following ancient towns is well known for its elaborate system of water harvesting and management by building a series of dams and channelizing water into connected reservoirs? So Dholavira, Kalibangan, Rakhigadi. So Kalibangan, Rakhigadi are in Haryana. So you can cross them out. Okay. Ropar is in Punjab. Answer is Dholavira. Okay. Now, so architectural feature and the important feature of this Dholavira. Dholavira has got various unique features. Now, if UPSC is asked a question about reservoir, may not be asking it again. Okay. So, but the other unique features are still open for framing the questions. So, architecture features. So, Dholavira structures were built using more of stone rather than more typical mud brick construction. Again, this is a unique feature. So, stone use was more in terms of what? Construction. The important buildings include a castle, that is a fort, a bele. Bele is a courtyard surrounded by a wall. A courtyard surrounded by a prominent wall. Then there is stadium-like structure, would have been used for what? Conducting certain degree of ceremony of sports. Assembly halls and granaries. So castle is considered a fortified royal palace with interconnected rooms and a central courtyard. Considered. Now, for what we are finding is use of more stone in comparison to mud bricks. Now, unique signboard. That is a signboard for administrative purpose, indicating the people. So we see signboards when you travel on the road. So similarly, unique signboard has been excavated from this site. A unique signboard with 10 Indus script symbols carved on gypsum found near the northern gateway is one of the earliest examples of public writing. That is for instructing the public or indicating to the public. Hence, the large size and the placement of the signboard suggest that it served as an administrative or ceremonial purpose. So again, a unique feature of this place is a unique signboard in Dholavira. Now, as the use of stones were there, so assembly halls, there were stone pillars and beams. So beams are for constructing the roofs. Okay. For constructing roofs, the beams are there put on the pillars. So stone pillars and beams indicative of monumental architecture have been discovered. That means presence of multi-story structures, which indicate towards presence of multi-story structures. Now the other things were similar, like Dholavira was a center of bead production. It was an important trade center within the Indus Valley civilization also, where it was trading with the other sites in the Gujarat, the Sindh and interior regions. Yes, Komal?
Sir, what is multi-storied structure?
Multi-story means, have you seen a multi-story building, tall building? Okay, where there are
Buildings.
multiple floors. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is multi-story. That means, now see, a multi-story building can only be standing on a proper base.
Hmm.
Now that base would have been requiring strong pillars. And here the
Yes.
stones were used for creating pillars. So it was giving an indication they would have constructed even the multi-floor structure also.
Multi-floor structure. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So stone pillars and beams indicative of monumental structure have been discovered, suggesting the presence of multi-storied structures or the multi-floors or the multi-floor building. So now it was important center of trade within the Indus Valley civilization sites also with other regions of IVC. It had got trade linkage with again Afghanistan, Iran and Mesopotamia. Now despite being a arid region that we now see, the Harappans cultivated wheat, barley, millets, pulses because they have got efficient water management system. Efficient water management system. Efficient water management system. Now pottery again comprising of multiple assemblages, painted was also there, black on red designs, BRW and incised motif, that is with carvings. Now Dholavira has yielded circular stone structures and burials. That means rather than the graves which can be rectangular in nature, here the graves can be circular in nature. So this is again a unique feature here. Has yielded circular stone structures and burials that show unique mortuary practices, burial practices. And these burial chambers had grave goods also. So now this has a side, this is a side which has got various unique features. So let's see all the unique features again one by one of Dholavira. So Dholavira, first of all, where its unique location itself is unique. It's almost like a riverine island where there are two seasonal rivers, that is Manhar and Mansar. So that is again a unique feature again. So it's on an island, riverine island within the Kutch region. Now further, the site's geographical isolation and proximity to coastal areas basically is important center of trade. Now, first, next important feature is three-part layout. Other sites are two-tier. This is a three-tier structure. In this, the tier 1 and tier 2 were within the fortified walls. The tier 3, that is the lower town, was outside the fortified walls. Now, fortification gateways clearly showing the what similarity to the later forts that have been created throughout history with proper guard system, entry and exit systems. Water management systems means enormous reservoirs they have created, stormwater drains they have created, step wells. Even the question was there in 2022 on that. Now, architectural features. Now here, architecture using more of stone, hence creating more solid structures like castles, stadium-like structures, assembly halls. Unique signboard, again a unique feature here. Stone pillars and beams. That means using those stone pillars which were very strong for providing strength to the base of the structure would have led to what creation of what? Multi-floor building. Now, and it was a major agriculture production area also because of their efficient water management system. The pottery assemblage included painted wares, black wares, and incised motifs. And again, a unique burial practice that is rounded in nature. So circular round structures, stone structures and burials. Now, so Lothal and Dholavira were the two major sites in Gujarat. Now, but when you talk about only the Kutch part of the Gujarat, there are multiple sites. But again, the biggest site that we have already discussed is Dholavira. Other two sites which are also important but smaller in nature are Rangpur. So Rangpur, Gujarat. Again, it's River Ghela in Kutch district. Again, located in the semi-arid region of Kutch, near the modern town of Bhuj. Okay, so Bhuj is the administrative headquarters of the Kutch district. So administrative headquarters of Kutch district. So Rangpur appears to have been a significant center for craft production, pottery, bead making, metallurgy. Again, so that means the basic features of the Indus Valley civilization was there. That means it was also center for manufacturing. It was also important for trade, with evidence of connections to both coastal trade and inland trade. Coastal and inland trade. Now, so that means it was trading also with what? External trade with Mesopotamian Persian Gulf. The bead making center, shell bangles, ornaments highlight the aesthetic practices. Tools made of stone and metal. Terracotta figurines, that is all the general features of any urban center of the Indus Valley civilization were there in the Rangpur. So that means terracotta figurines, these are common. That means tools, that is metal manufacturing or metal based manufacturing, shell bangles, bead making center. That means, but here to be noted here is where the Rangpur location is Kutch district, is smaller location in comparison to Dholavira, which is a more prominent one. River is Ghela River near the Bhuj town, and had got the trade relations internally also and externally also, Rangpur. Similar to Rangpur is another place called Sarkotada in again Gujarat Kutch district, again near Bhuj. Again, it shows all the feature of a well-organized settlement of IVC. Pottery again, similar type, geometric and animal motifs. And again, the stone tools. It has shown was various range of stone tools, including blades, chisels, scrapers. Now here, the most important thing that you know here is Harappans were having the knowledge of horse. So horse they were not using in the form of domestication, but they have seen horse because in certain sites the horse bones were found. But they have not learned the usage of horse. So first actual remains of horse bones. If the UPSC question comes, okay, the familiar with the horses with respect to the use them in what modes of transportation, the answer will be wrong. Or the horses were domesticated, the answer would be wrong. But horses' bones were there, so it's debatable whether they were able to use the horse or not. But the bones were there. The first actual image of horse bones from Sarkutata. Other sites in Kutch, the smaller sites, Desalpur, Kuntasi, Shikarpur, Junikaran and Kanmer, yes, Bagsara. These are the smaller sites within the Kutch region. See, when we are able to remember all these names, that means by seeing the 4 options in the prelims examination, we can easily eliminate the options which may not be true, which may not be correct. That means a wider expansion of our connection of knowledge in our mind helps us in what making what easy eliminations, okay, and also rational guessing. We can guess rationally when we have read more and in a manner which is easy to remember. Now let's move towards another site which is important. It's called Sukta Gendor in Balochistan, which is the westernmost IVC site. Westernmost Sukta Gendor is touching the border of Iran. Sukta Gendor, Balochistan, is in river Dasht or Dash river. So is the westernmost location. Location of IVC, Indus Valley Civilization. So Sukta Gendor is situated near the Dash river. It's west of Karachi and also inland. It's not directly on the coast. Again, is inland from the Arabian Sea. Now it is located in the Balochistan province near the Makran coast, close to the border with Iran. So hence its position near the Iranian border suggests that it played a crucial role in maritime trade and served as the gateway to the Middle Eastern trade routes. So to and fro flow of goods via Sukta Gendor to the Middle Eastern areas and even to other farther areas. So hence it connected the coastal trade routes of Indus Valley with those of Iraq, Iran, and other regions in Western Asia. So again, a fortified settlement is there and trading post is there. So we have seen what we have seen even this place which is located near the coast, but here there's no dockyard. Okay. So when I talk about dockyard, immediately Lothal should be coming to the mind. So it was a fortified settlement and a trading post. So let us see the map again, this map again, the image again. So this is Sukta Gendor. This is the border of Iran. And this is the Makran coast. Here you can see this is the Makran coast. This is Makran coast. This is Makran coast. This is Makran coast. Now again, there is again a water management. Given the arid environment, the settlement may have relied on wells and cisterns for water storage. Cisterns are what? Underground storage of water. Cisterns are for what? Underground storage of water. Underground storage of water. Cistern. So archaeological evidence suggests the presence of underground channels and drainage systems. So reflecting concern for water management. So maritime trade, it was having maritime trade with what? Oman, Mesopotamia and other regions of Persian Gulf. And the exported items, what they exported? Timber. Timber, that means Middle East. Middle East was already a desert right from the start. That means there was lesser timber. That means so wood was going from India or Indian subcontinent. Shells, fish, semi-precious stones, these were exported. Again, the imported things are copper, tin, and luxury items. Copper, tin, and luxury items. overland trade. The site's proximity to the Iranian plateau made it a crucial node, yes, nodal point for the even the trade going to the farther of areas, not by the maritime, but through inland. So crossing the borders. So the site proximity to Iranian plateau made it a crucial node in the overall overland trade, which is extending to far areas to Afghanistan, Iran, and Central Asia. So when we see the, so for example, Sukda Gandor can definitely be cutting and crossing the Iranian plateaus, entering Afghanistan. This is Afghanistan, and going to Central Asia, the above. So it was involved in maritime trade also, and the inland, cutting across the Iranian plateau, the Afghanistan, and then the Central Asia. So hence goods like lapis lazuli, turquoise, and metal ores pass through Sukta Gandor on their way to Mohenjo-daro and Harappa. Yes, that means via this route, these type of imported items entered. So Sukta Gandor was a major importing place, especially for the location like Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. Very clear. Now, so again, weights and measures. So it was a major trading post. So weights and measures will again becoming important. So standardized cubical weights found at the site indicate a system of trade regulation and taxation. Now there are also flint blades. So blades means sharpened blades of flint. That is again a rock. There were stone vessels, stone vessels, not the clay vessels. We are talking about stone vessels, stone arrowheads, and even founding of bangles of clay. So stone vessels, stone arrowheads, flint blades. And let's take the last site for the day, that is Ropar. So Ropar in Punjab. Now Punjab, which river? River Satluj. Left bank of river Satluj. Which district of Punjab? Roopnagar district. So Roopnagar district of Punjab. So Ropar is situated on the left bank of the Satluj river in the foothills of which range? Shivalik Hills. Foothills. So it is a location at the confluence of two rivers, the Satluj river and the Ghaggar river. So confluence of two rivers, Satluj and Ghaggar rivers. So again, making a very strategic center for trade, agriculture and water management. Now it is also what continuous settlement has been visible right from the earlier Harappan to the later Harappan and even to the historical period. Historical period means when the writing became more deciphered. Yes. Historical periods means coming of the Mauryas, coming of what the other empires. That means there were continuous settlements. From the early Harappan to later Harappans to even coming of the kingdoms and empires later. So during the mature Harappan period, Ropar emerged into well-planned settlement like other Indus Valley sites. So it was fortified, well laid out streets, evidence of drainage systems and storage facilities. That means all the sites were fortified, barring one. What was, so which was the site which was not fortified?
Sir, the Chichandaro.
Chanudaro, which was a major industrial site. Chanudaro. Thank you, Bhumika. Okay, so presence of fire altars, ritual pits indicate a site may have what religious and ceremonial significances. Now, shell bangles and ornaments reflect trade with coastal sites like Lothal. Now, shell bangles, will the shell be found in Punjab? No. The shell all are mostly found in the coastal areas. That means there would have been a trade linkage internally where the shells may have been brought via the Lothal route. So that means the presence of fire altars, ritual pits indicates the site may have religious and ceremonial significance. Shell bangles were also found, maybe via the route through Lothal. Now, burial practices. Now, the unique here is along with human beings, animals were also buried. This is the only place in Indus Valley civilization, Ropar. So Ropar is particularly famous for distinctive burial practices. The Harappan burials here are unique as they often include animal burials alongside human burials. This is a site where the dog is buried with a human being. A human skeleton is buried along with dog, indicating a ritualistic association and connection with the animals. Pottery and artifacts. Ropar has yielded a rich collection of Harappan pottery. जिसमें redware भी है, painted designs and decorative motifs, terracotta figurines, animals and humans. These are common things. They are not exclusive things. Pottery styles that means suggest what local production and extended trade connections. So there's nothing very unique here. These are mostly common across the sites. Now jewelry and ornaments. The site has revealed copper bangles. So mostly terracotta bangles have been found. Here the copper bangles have been found. Now semi-precious stones and the shell ornaments. The bronze implements and ornaments suggest that Ropar also participated in what Harappan metallurgical traditions. That means they were equally adept in making the bronze articles as well as the copper articles. Copper bangles were also being found. So there's also one thing is being found is copper X. And for additional information, so Ropar was the first site to be excavated after independence of India, post-independence. Post-independence. So let's see when we talk about Ropar. So Ropar is basically the unique thing is shell bangles are being found, but this is a place which is far off from the coastal location. That means through a coastal location, they would have been getting, or this site would have been getting what? The shell articles. Burial practices, the unique animals with human beings. So dog with human being. Pottery, nothing very peculiar. Jewelry and ornaments, copper bangles, shell ornaments, bronze implements, copper X, and this is the first site to be excavated post-independence. Okay, so I hope you must have felt confident because you would have not found such information in one place. Now these have been put in a place so that when you are foraging through the various notes, when you are going to multiple books, when you're going to NCRTs, it's difficult to bring all the things at one place. That's why these are the handouts which have been crafted and designed. Now I hope you can write certain things also. For example, can you write certain things? Okay, just note down. Just for your information that you can write here now. Can you now write in a town planning structure? Can you now write in a town planning structure of IVC? Can you write the specific basic features? Okay, note down. Town planning system. UPSC questions are based on these type of things. Town planning system. Next can be the drainage systems. Now, features of trade of Indus Valley civilization. Features of Indus Valley civilization. Now, changes visible. Note down changes visible in Indus Valley civilization. Sites from early to mature and later Harappan period. From early to mature to later Harappan period. And next you can also write down on what? Geographical expansion of Indus Valley civilization. Geographical expansion of Indus Valley civilization. And features of important sites. And features of important sites.
Sir, please repeat the first one.
The last one. Or the
First one, sir.
first one was town planning system. That is the tier structure, tier 1, tier 2, that you have to mention about a unique place, that is Dholavira has got 3-tier structure. Yes, town planning structure. Okay, and you have to mention about the grid pattern, and also you mentioned about the oval pattern. Okay, in a particular place. Then you mention about the houses, the types. Okay, so that means you should be able to mention all these. I hope you may have got confidence that you can filter out and write. Now, tomorrow we'll be continuing with other remaining smaller sites, and then we'll be talking about in detail the economy of Indus Valley Civilization, the society of Indus Valley Civilization, and art, yes, and the art of Indus Valley Civilization. Clear?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Sumant.
Like you told us to write about this, as in,
See, I have given you a hint that you can write all of these things from such a notes.
okay, yeah, got it.
Okay, that means also try to write also.
Yeah.
Okay, though I will be giving the questions, proper questions separately.
Mm.
But here, what I'm giving you a hint, these type of things are converted into questions by UPSC examination. So where you can easily filter out the answer from these notes that we are getting.
Yeah, I confused it with the subjective, question and answers.
Okay. So I will be giving the assignment separately.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for participation. Let's resume the class tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.